host here today with a new video of World of Tanks. Coming here, well, pretty much with only a quick review of the n.1 line. I'm not gonna play the tanks, I'm only gonna show them. I'm gonna tell them if it's good to play, if it's difficult, from my experience in the game. And don't say I'm a kid and I don't know how to play. I played these tanks, I know how to play them, and I'm pretty good with them too. So pretty much, let's start. Here I have Village Tractor. It's the point of starting for all the lines, so I don't need to revise that each time. It's a good tank. It doesn't have a lot of armor, has a good cannon, but I prefer the non-automatic cannon, this one, because I mean it pans a lot more, and for me, my style of gaming is this one. I always want something that pans and does a third of damage points, something like that. And it has, like I said, 130 hit points. It goes 36, isn't fast, but isn't slow neither. It turns pretty good. The armor, don't even think about it, you're gonna get panned. The damage is on this gun is up to 45. I normally do 50. I don't know, well, not 50, but an average of 40, 43, something like that, 45, yeah. So it pans up to 50 millimeters. It shoots each 4 seconds, I think. Not really a lot, not really fast for only 40 damage points, but I mean, you can kill a tank in 12 seconds, which is good for tier 1. Well, yeah, it's good for all tier 1s, even MS1 can do that. And the signal range isn't good with this, first, well, how do you call it? Well, this first thing, I'm sorry. You can only buy this one, and then you can actually, well, yeah. The first radio isn't really good. It only goes up to 90 meters. That the second one goes up to 220, which is kind of good, but that's only for help, something like that, you know, and also to actually see our tanks and our guys can see them, you know. So pretty much that's it for Village Tractor. Let's go. Well, okay, after this is gonna be a lot faster. So the Panzer II, it's a good tank. I like it because it doesn't have a lot of armor. It doesn't have a crap ton of armor, but it has enough armor. I like it because it only has automatic guns. So it was the best thing that I had when I started the game. It goes fast. It has 170 hit points. It shoots a lot, and it has a good radio. It has a tier 7 radio for a tier 2 tank, which is good. I mean, yeah. Then comes the Panzer III Ost. I didn't pretty like this tank. Wasn't really good. I mean, the gun wasn't really good, and it was easy to pan by everybody. And when I bought it, it wasn't really fast as a tank. Now it's a lot faster. And I mean, it's up to you. I didn't really like it. It has no armor. It has 14 millimeters in front. Only here it has like 30. I mean, it's easy to kill. For tier 3, it's really no armor. So I mean, don't, even if it has 240 hit points, no, it's not a good tank. Well, I didn't like it. It's up to you. It has a good signal. It has a tier 7 radio, just like this one. And I think it's, yeah, the same radio. No getting better. These two tanks, I haven't actually played them. They both have, no, they don't actually have HD models, but they were placed just before the HD models appeared, so, well, pretty much, I haven't tried them yet because I mean, I don't really see anything good in them. They have only 14 millimeters of armor. Not really good guns. They shoot not really a lot and do up to 148, but yeah, well, a tier 4, tier 3 like this one, yeah, well, I don't know, but it's good at tier 3, but it has not a lot of armor. It goes enough for this kind of tank. It goes 40, which is good for a medium tank, and then has 270 hit points, so pretty much that's it. It's kind of a good tank just to go snipe and not to go in a battle face to face with somebody, because it's 100% that somebody's gonna hit you. Oh, almost. And here we go, the Panzer for us. It's a tier 4. It's almost the same thing, but here we have a little bit more armor. It's the same on both sides, the hull and the turret. We have 40 in the front. It's easy to pen by everybody, even here. The 20 on the sides and 20 in the rear. It's not armor. Has 350 hit points. Has the same gun, I think. Yes, indeed. Has the same gun. It's the same tank from a little bit more health points. So I personally don't really like it. And here we go. This is the next tank. Well, the next one. The Panzer 4 H, which I prefer to have like this because I like the rapid fire, but at the same time, sometimes I use the scan here, because you could ask yourself, how do I have this tank and I don't have these? Well, I had this thing before these tanks appear, so I'm kind of old in this game. So here we have is the scan tier 5 cannon, and the thing is, it's a I think it's an n.1. Yeah, it's a 150. It's a 150 millimeter. Wait, what? It's impossible. I think it's a 150. It's a hell of a big cannon for such a small tank, but no, it's actually 15, I think. No. It's a 150. Yeah, it's a 150. No. I'm still hesitating. No, I think it's a 105. Something like that. Yeah, 105. Yeah. So 105 now, 150 will be really a lot. The KV2 has a 152, so yeah, it's a 105 millimeter cannon. It has no penetration, 80 millimeters in tier 5s. It's really bad. It uses, I would use more HE on this. It does up to 448 damage, but not always. That's 200 at each, like, I don't know, 8 seconds. So this one, I like it because it has 148 millimeters of penetration at the same time, 148 shell damage, which is a lot better. Well, a lot better for me. So it's kind of it. And yeah, well, pretty much kind of my sort of tank. And here we advance on the VK 36.01. This tank here isn't the best tank that you can ever use, but at the same time isn't the worst kind of tank. I personally didn't play it a lot, so I never know if it's really good or not. It has a tier 7 gun for tier 6. It's an 80 millimeter gun, which is not bad at all. 88 even. So the tank has 100 millimeters armor, all placed like the Tiger, just a little bit smaller, which is not the best armor you can ever get. It's average armor. I mean, the hit points are good. 950 is a lot. Tier 9 tanks only get like 800. But that compensates the whole armor, who is only 100. So, well, that's kind of it. When you buy it, it's only like this, which is a sucker cannon. I don't want to use it. It's, I think, the same cannon as on the Panzer 4, Panzer 4H. So this cannon isn't playable at all. So not good cannon to use it. So yeah, well, pretty much kind of it. Not bad tank. And yeah. Continuing on the next one, here is a Tiger. This tank I played it a lot, so I kind of know it. I kind of know how to play it. The only thing I don't like, it only has 100 millimeters in front, and for tier 7 it's really bad. So I prefer this tank for sniping, and sometimes just really rushing really fast when you know that the bad guys are maximum 2 shots, and then and when you have full health. So it's kind of what I use it for. It has a lot of HP, has even more HP than a IS-3, so that compensates the armor. The gun, it's I think it's a 88 millimeter. Is it? I think it's an 88 millimeter. It's not really. It's not seriously a really big gun. It's dealing up to 300 damage normally. Normally it does 260. For me it does. So depends a lot. Depends to 54, which is a crap ton. I personally did deals with IS-3s and I almost killed them. Almost, because they had a lot of armor. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. It has a lot of hit points, has not so much armor, a good gun, and I personally I would like to I like this tank, so you need to take it, you need to try on this. It's amazing as a tank. And pretty much, yeah. And also for this tank I wanted to tell you myself, I like to be really accurate, so I always put a gun lane drive, because when I move my turret I don't want to lose a lot of accuracy. Same time I use a gun rammer because I want to have really not a lot of reloading time. So this thing is already not a lot of loading time, so I wanted to minimize it to the max so it's playable. And the ventilation, just because I don't have any other ideas, and I mean it's gonna help me a lot. So getting on the next tank, Tiger 2, it's an awesome tank because even when you get it versus tier IS-3s, what I like is that you're higher and you can just if you're actually like hugging them and like trying to like push into them, yeah, sure, it's gonna be like easy to just explode their turret off because you don't have any armor on top of their turret, so they're kind of dead if you actually try to do a close attack. Personally, I do more close attacks with this thing because it's really more high than the others, so I get a little advantage on it. And plus, the gun isn't such a bad gun. It's a 105 millimeter, not so bad. I mean, I like it. It doesn't deal so much damage as the 122. It doesn't deal 440, nothing like that. It's 400 max. And seriously, it does for 380, maybe 400 something. I don't remember. I think 400 is the max that it did to me. When I played. It has only 100 hit points more than his predecessor, the Tiger 1, because 1500 hit points is already a crap ton, so I didn't want it to add even more. So yeah, well, pretty much doesn't have a lot, but it's still more than the other tier 8 tanks, because the tier 7 has more than the tier 8 IS3. So if they add like 200 up to the Tiger, that's gonna be seriously unfair, because the Tiger already has 200 HP more than the IS3, and they're both tier 8s. The Tiger has 100 more, the Tiger has 200 more. It's kind of comprehensible. So with Tiger 2, I just want to finish something on it. Tiger 2 is really good in armor, not really good when you're battling IS3s, but in the other situations you can actually beat up on some bad guys. Yes, the bad guys are just gonna run, because this tank is really good for ramming. Like an IS3 only weighs 40 tons when you weigh 71, which is an advantage. But 30 tons, you can just ram into him, shoot him, you get an advantage. It's a little bit, but still an advantage. And going to the next tank here is the E75. What I like about this actual tank is that it gets a tier 10 128mm gun, which is awesome. It can deal up to 613 damage per shot. Yes, it reloads 17 seconds, but still, I like it because it's really, really, really powerful. And the penetration, 308mm, is really enough to kill all the tier 8s easily, and to not have so many problems with the tier 9s or 10s. And I mean, it weighs almost 100 tons, which is already really a lot. When you say this one only weighs 71, this one weighs 92, and it's a lot more armored. That's kind of the actual thing. But when you see this, you're just being kind of scared because you pretty much dead when you go versus such a big bad guy. I mean, I don't know. When you're fighting versus the opponent team in an E75, you have an advantage on everything: armor, gun, good speed, still good speed for such a big tank. You're more high than ours, so you can shoot the IS3s or the IS8s. So you get everything better. But the only thing that's not really good is the reload, who is sucking really badly. So for that, that concludes the E75. So going up to the last tank, the E100. It's an amazing tank. I personally really like it. A lot of kids who play with tanks always want the Moss. They want to play the Moss. I personally would say to you, those who really like the Moss, take the 100. It weighs maybe less than the Moss, but it's so much better. The gun, 10 times better. The armor, really good. The turret itself isn't, I mean, yes, it has a big spot here that may be a problem, but for the rest, everything is perfect, but just speed. But, I mean, the only fast tanks, this is a heavy tank, so I mean 30 kilometers per hour is normal for a heavy tank. It's already heavy, it's already made to have armor, but not to be fast. If you want a fast tank and a lot of armor, choose VA50M. That's your tank. I mean, you don't need other ones. It weighs a lot. It's big. It's fast. It has a good gun. It has good reload time. It's everything you want, pretty much. This is kind of concluding a little bit. So V100 has 2.7k hit points. Has a good engine, but still doesn't go a lot. unlock hours per hour. The tread speed isn't really good. You can circle this tank easily. It has good armor, 200 millimeters in front, plus the angle makes it almost like 250, 260. The turret armor, not turret armor, sorry, on the side has 120, but it compensates a little side armor, plus armor here, plus it tracks, so you get really protected there. Plus you have 150 in the rear here. Yes, it's a weak spot because everybody could go in your rear, but if you know how to play this tank and if you have a good team, you're never gonna need to be scared of your rear, because if your team is good and they know to protect you and protect themselves, they're gonna protect you versus scouts slash medium tanks that are gonna go behind you and start shooting you non-stop. And yeah, well, pretty much that's it. And the turret's a little bit more armored because I guess it doesn't have such a big angle, so if you think that this and this is powerful, no, this is kind of the same thing as this. Because this is angled and this is almost 90, let's say 70 degrees, kind of like that. So the damage of a shell does up to almost 1000 damage. A high explosiveness shell does 1188 damage, and only penetrates 106 millimeters of armor. And yes, if you have time and you're only versus a scout, or if you see a scout that's not moving, you can load in an HE, wait like 20 seconds. Yeah, 20 seconds exactly. Wait 20 seconds and then you pretty much can one-shot any scout. Because I think the T49, the new T49, the AMX 1390, they all have 1,100 HP, sorry, and they're kind of not so powerful when it comes to fight you, so you can pretty much one-shot them because they don't have armor, and at the same time they don't have a lot of HP. They have 2,700 when they only have 1.1. Okay, so kind of, yeah, a little bit losing everything up, but still, yeah, well, it concludes everything up. All this line, I'm just gonna do it really fast. So the tanks that I like are the Ledge Tractor, the Panzer IV Ost with his long gun, Tiger 1 when it's fully upgraded, the Tiger 2 when it's fully upgraded, the E75 when it's fully upgraded, and the E100 when it's fully upgraded. I didn't test the VK4601 yet, but as I can see, it doesn't have a lot of armor, so it's not really my style of playing. And these two tanks here, the Panzer IV Ost A and the 4 Ost D, they don't look like good tanks, so I am not going to play these tanks ever. I mean, I don't want to, but if I'm gonna be like, no, if I'm gonna need to, I am, but if I don't need to, I'm not gonna play them, because, well, if it's a mission that gives you a lot of money, maybe I'm gonna play them, because maybe they're gonna implement some missions, because I don't see a lot of people playing them, and if they don't implement any missions, I'm certainly not gonna play this tank on the normal server. So yeah, well, concludes Ledge Tractor, Panzer IV Ost H, Panzer II, Panzer Kampffighter II, it's a really good tank, Panzer IV Ost H, Tiger, VK could be a really good tank, Tiger 1, Tiger 2, E75 and E100. These four tanks here, they're overpowered. The only problem is the Tiger has a little bit less armor than it needs to, but it has a lot of HP, so H points. It has a lot of HP, so it's gonna survive in really bad battles. I did survive in bad battles with it, and I want to say it's cool tank. So yeah, that concludes all of the German heavy tank review. And if you want me to play a specific tank, or up to five up to two specific tanks, and to show you how to play them, tell me now, because I don't have a lot of time, or I'm gonna play them next time, next month, when I'm gonna be able to. But these 4 tanks, I'm gonna play them with pleasure and show them how to, because I know them and I play them a lot, so I am kind of good in them. And also tell me what branches do you want me to do after. I plan to make the heavy tank, the other German heavy tank line, but until then, well, I'm just gonna stick with this one. So yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Comment on my videos, subscribe to my channel, and pretty much see you all guys later. Stay cool.